Over the course of roughly 24 games, the hero of Hyrule has fought the evil pig-faced Ganon, rescued various princesses, and kept the mysterious Triforce out of enemy hands. That's all well and good. It's just a shame that Link causes so much trouble along the way. It's really not okay to break every pot you see, dude. Whether skyward bound, adrift in time, or steeped in twilight, the various incarnations of Link have saved Hyrule countless times over the Legend of Zelda series. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean the beloved hero hasn't done his fair share of creepy stuff along the way. What kind of stuff? Well, ghost creep. Given that he doesn't say much, it's easy to assume that Link is a humble, selfless hero. But according to Hyrule Historia, the official guide to the Legend of Zelda series, that's not entirely true. After the events of the Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, our hero is so furious that he's not remembered for his accomplishments that he sticks around for hundreds of years as a ghost, unable to let go. In Twilight Princess, he actually haunts the younger Link, one of the Hero of Time's many descendants. And it's not just like he takes the form of a grumpy old man. He stalks Link Jr. as a glowing wolf and terrifying skeleton called Hero's Shade. It actually ends up working out pretty well for young Link, since the skeleton teaches Link advanced sword fighting techniques. But introducing yourself via wolf attack and a one-punch knockdown just to prove your hot stuff is unbecoming of any Link, living or dead. Chicken smacking. When Wandering Poultry first appeared in A Link to the Past, they didn't do much but hop around and cluck, leaving players to wonder what exactly they were good for. The answer is, well, pretty much nothing, unless you like whacking farm animals with the sword. Hyrule's poultry have been hit so often they've had to organize to stay safe. Smack a cuckoo too many times and it'll summon its friends, who swarm Link from all directions and peck him to death. This isn't a one-time thing either. Attackable and vengeful cuckoos have appeared in almost every Zelda game, from A Link to the Past all the way through Breath of the Wild. So this begs the question, who's worse? The guy who programs in birds you can injure, or the player that actively injures birds? Some things never change, and Link abusing animals is one of them. Grave robbing. In Hyrule, goodies are stashed everywhere. In pots, under bridges, in chests, and in the guts of every monster you kill. And just like in the real world, some of Hyrule's treasures are buried with their owners. But when Link's on a quest, not even basic morality will stand between him and looting some corpses. In the original Legend of Zelda's second quest, Link uncovers a dungeon entrance by pushing aside a gravestone. In A Link to the Past, knocking a gravestone and climbing into the tomb below nets Link a cape with invisibility powers. Look, if Great-Grandpa wants to be buried in his invisibility cape, who's gonna say no? Link's worst offense, however, occurs in Ocarina of Time, where the young adventurer doesn't even bother to do the grave robbing himself. When Link visits Kakariko Graveyard, he can fork over 10 rupees to make the local gravedigger dig a hole wherever Link wants, uncovering anything from a few bucks to an entire heart container. Even if you call it Nape's heart-pounding grave-digging tour, it's still ghoulish. You may find a treasure, but you may also find Aunt Bertha's jawbone and a lifetime of nightmares. Fortunately, for Link's treasure hoard, respect for the dead isn't an issue. He destroyed an island for nothing. In Link's Awakening, our hero Link washes up on Koholint Island after his ship is wrecked during a storm. Naturally, Link begins looking for a way home by killing everything in sight, and learns he can escape Koholint by waking up the Windfish, a slumbering monster at the heart of the island. But there's a catch. Koholint is the product of the Windfish's dream, and waking him will destroy the island and all of its inhabitants. That's exactly what Link does. The island and all of its inhabitants vanish, and Link wakes up in the middle of the ocean, clinging to a piece of driftwood. This isn't just fan speculation either. The Hyrule Historia calls his choice to destroy Koholint a bitter decision. All that, and Link doesn't even get back to Hyrule. That particular version of Link sets sail after his adventure, but his further whereabouts are unknown, meaning that Link effectively destroyed an island for absolutely no reason. Harassing Zelda. While video game Link is almost entirely non-verbal, cartoon Link was an entirely different kind of hero. There's no good explanation for why the writers of the 1989 Legend of Zelda animated series turned Link from noble hero into a wisecracking brat who's constantly saved by the princess. If cartoon Link had just been a whiner, it would be bad enough. But he was mainly after getting the girl more so than anything else. From the very first episode, he ogles Zelda wherever she's getting dressed, catcalls her,
Looking good, princess, especially from this angle.
And tries to kiss Zelda when she isn't expecting it. That all happens in the first 6 minutes, and it doesn't get better. Over the course of the show's 13-episode run, Link spends almost all of his time trying to score, whether it's with Zelda or with weird anonymous witches.
Dying. Kiss me. Oh!
Combine Link's unseemly behavior with his general whininess, and you're left hoping that Ganon wins. Speaking of Link's weird perversions, the Hyrule Streaker. Link's unusual behavior didn't end in the 80s. In Breath of the Wild, Link roams the free-form open-world game with very few limits. Want to ignore the main quest and just spend your time causing havoc among Hyrule's ruins? Go right ahead. Want to track down shrines and defeat Ganon in your undies? You can do that too. Basically, the game is so freeform that Link doesn't have to wear any other clothes if you don't want him to. And that's more than enough to offend Hylian's delicate sensibilities. While some people don't mind seeing Link's tighty-whities, a teenage girl who lives in Kakariko Village is absolutely traumatized by the sight of Link's barely contained buns. At best, making people uncomfortable like that is selfish and only profitable if you live in New York City. At worst, it's a crime, and one that should be punished, preferably with death by chickens. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.